Hello students, welcome to the new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about the excretion and release of substance in plants. Okay, so in the last lecture we have discussed about different topics. So this is a new topic in this chapter, and by this topic we are going to end the chapter today. Okay, so excretion and release of substance in plants. Before we discuss the topic or before we start the topic, so if you have any doubts or questions, post it in the live chat section so that I can read it and I can answer your doubts or I can answer to your questions. Okay, so feel free to post your comments or doubts or questions in the live chat section. So, and by the way, good afternoon to everyone. Okay, so excretion, what is meant by excretion? In the last classes, in the previous classes, we have discussed about the excretion. Excretion means removal. Okay, excretion means removal of a substance, that is known as excretion. So here the organisms are going to remove the waste materials, so that is known as excretion. So by process of excretion, the waste materials are removed from the body. Okay, so here these plants are going to accumulate waste materials in a slower rate. When you compare with animals, if you compare the difference between the animals and also plants, okay, so the rate of excretion is very less in plants. So the rate of excretion is very less in plants, and excretion is more in animals. Okay, so because of the metabolic rate, okay, in plants the metabolic rate is very slow. So this is the reason in the plants the excretion is very less. Okay, the slower rate of waste will be produced. As a result, the slower rate of waste breakdown will be there. In plants, the higher rate of the waste production will be there and waste breakdown will be there. Okay, so here the non-chlorophyll plants. So in the previous lectures also we have discussed about the non-chlorophyll plants. So can anyone answer what is meant by non-chlorophyll plants? Where you can see, and can you name that plant name? Non-chlorophyll plants. Okay, name of the plant which do not have the chlorophyll and which do not perform photosynthesis. Okay, the doubt is what is excretion? So excretion is nothing but removal of the waste materials in the body. Okay, all the time in the body waste materials are produced. So these waste materials has to be removed from the body. So the process of removal of waste materials from the body is known as excretion. Okay, so it is the process of removal of waste materials. So by the way, our question is, which plant do not have the chlorophyll? Okay, we have discussed in the first chapter, that is parasitic plant. What is a parasitic plant? Can anyone answer what is meant by parasitic plant? Parasitic plant. Parasitic plant is nothing but dodder. Okay, so the dodder is a parasitic plant. So this dodder is not going to have the chlorophyll, but for some species of the dodder have the chlorophyll. Even though they have the chlorophyll, they will not perform photosynthesis. Okay, so dodder is a parasitic plant. Some species of the dodder will not have the chlorophyll. So we are calling them as non-chlorophyll plants, or we can call them as plants without chlorophyll. So and green plants also absorbs oxygen in the darkness and release carbon dioxide and water. So why the plants, okay, why they are going to absorb oxygen? So generally the plants releases oxygen, but here what we are saying, we are saying that they are going to absorb oxygen. Why they will absorb oxygen? They absorb oxygen because they have to perform cellular respiration at a dark time or in the night time. In the night time there is no sunlight. If there is no sunlight, so no photosynthesis. No photosynthesis means no energy. So how it is possible? It is not possible. So the plants need energy all the time. So as a result, they are going to absorb oxygen and they will break down the glucose in the presence of oxygen to produce the energy. This process is known as cellular respiration. This process is known as cellular respiration in plants. Okay, it is like similar up to almost or up to some extent it is similar like animals. Okay, animals also going to utilize oxygen. No, oxygen will be taken by the animals and they will utilize oxygen for the breakdown of the glucose, that is known as cellular respiration. Here the plants also going to absorb oxygen from the atmosphere for the breakdown of the glucose to produce energy. This is a cellular respiration in the plant. Okay, so here the gases like oxygen are going to absorb by the plants, so through the stomata. So if you see the leaves, okay, the leaves are going to have the stomata. Okay, so SJ games, what you have not understood, just let me know the name of the topic, what you have not understood. And by the way, if you have any doubts or questions, or if you have not understood, just let me know in the live chat section so that I can clear even more. Okay, so here the gases like oxygen, is exchanged, okay, during the four gases like carbon dioxide, okay, carbon dioxide plus oxygen, they will get exchanged through the stomata. What is stomata? In the leaves you can see the small holes or pores are present. Okay, so the small holes or pores are present, they are helpful in the exchanging of the gases. So what gases? Carbon dioxide, oxygen and so on. So it means the exchanging of these gases are taken place through the stomata. So during the process of photosynthesis and during the night time also. In the daytime, in the photosynthetic process, carbon dioxide will be taken inside and oxygen will be released outside. So in case of night time, there is no sunlight, so oxygen will be taken into the cells, okay, through the stomata, and the carbon dioxide will be removed out of the leaf in the night time. Okay, so this will be in the daytime and this process will be in the night time. Okay, okay, so here the lenticels also present. Here the lenticels, what is meant by lenticels? Lenticels are nothing but they are small structures on the stem. On the stem, let us consider this is stem of the plant. So this is stem of the plant. On the stem of the plant you can see small structures, okay, small elevations on the stem. So these small elevations on the stem is known as they are lenticels. So these lenticels are helpful in the exchanging of the gases. So what are the two structures in the plant helpful for the exchanging of the gases? So the two structures are, one is stomata, another is the lenticels. They are helpful in the exchanging of the gases. Okay. So not only that, extra water in the plants. So sometimes in the plant body the water will be more. So to remove the excess water, what the plants will do? The plants will eliminate, okay, water in the form of transpiration and guttation. So here you can see the leaves have the stomata. Here in the stomata looks in this way. Okay, these are the God cells. Okay, these are the God cells. So here will be the cells inside the stomata. You will see in this way. Okay, so here what is happening? The water is coming and this water will turn into vapor. Okay, water vapor. This water vapor will exit out through the stomata. So this is known as transpiration. What is transpiration? The removal of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata is known as transpiration. Okay, so what is guttation? Guttation means from the leaves. Okay, so from the leaves water droplets will come directly. Water droplets will come from the leaves. Okay, especially in the grass. In the morning time you will see on the grass leaves you will see small droplets. So the droplets is nothing but by a process known as guttation. Through the process of the guttation, that water is going to come out of the leaves. So why the process, or why the guttation and also transpiration is seen in the plants? Just to remove the excess amount of the water in them. Okay, so this is about transpiration and also guttation. So here the waste are stored in the plant body. The waste materials are produced, but these waste materials are produced in slower rate. The rate of production of waste materials in the body is little bit slow when compared to the animals. Okay, so these waste materials are produced. These waste materials are stored in the leaves. Okay, waste materials are stored in the leaves. Why? Because they do not have the excretory system like large intestine, small intestine. Okay, and also rectum, anus. These plants do not have the rectum, anus, and so on. So here in the trees, due to that reason, they are going to store waste materials. Okay, they are going to store waste materials in the leaves, they are going to store waste materials in the bark, and so on. Okay, and also sometimes these waste materials are stored in the fruits also. Okay, in the fruits also. So if the waste materials are stored in the fruits, those structures are known as raphides. What is meant by raphide? Raphides are the solid bodies in the fruits. These waste materials are stored in the form of solid bodies, and these solid bodies are present in the fruits. They are known as raphides. Okay, so the periodically the leaves will fall down. Okay, after some duration, after a few days, the leaves will become old and the leaves will fall down. So when the leaves fall down, what will happen? What will happen? These leaves, when the leaves falls down, it is nothing but removal of waste materials up to some extent. So when the bark comes off from the tree, and bark falls down, it is nothing but waste materials are removed. Okay, so this is about removal. How they are going to remove the waste materials? Through the leaves, through the bark, and also through the raphides. These are the three process way they can remove the waste materials. Okay, so what is metabolites? Okay, metabolites are nothing but they are useful for the growth. Okay, so there are again two types of metabolites, primary and also secondary metabolites. So primary metabolites are used for the growth, and also secondary metabolites used for the protection of the plant. We will discuss about them. Okay, so these plants are going to synthesize biochemicals. Okay, biochemicals. So these biochemicals are used for the growth. Okay, for the growth means increase in size, increase in height of the plant body, or increase in number of cells in the plant body. That is growth. And these biochemicals are produced for the pollination of the seeds. Okay, pollination, seed dispersal, and so on. What is known as seed dispersal? Seed dispersal is nothing but spreading of seeds. Seed dispersal is nothing but spreading of seeds in the nature. That is known as seed dispersal. And healing. For example, if the plant is injured, or if there is a small wound on the plant, that wound has to be cured. That curing of the wound is known as healing. Okay. And these biochemicals are also used for the defensive purpose. Defensive purpose means they want to get protected from other organisms, whether it may be insects or microorganisms or any animals, so on. So due to that reason, these biochemicals are produced. Biochemicals are produced for various reasons like growth, pollination, seed dispersal, healing, and etc. So these biochemicals are primary and secondary metabolites. Just now, as SJ Games asked, so biochemicals are nothing but primary and also secondary metabolites. Okay. So again, what is meant by primary metabolites? These primary metabolites are nothing but, so they are chemical substance used for the growth and development. Okay. So Prabhu just now asked, no, metabolites. Okay, what is metabolite? These are the biochemicals. Okay, biochemical substance used for the growth, development, pollination, etc. Okay. So again, the metabolites are of two types. Okay, what are those metabolites? Primary metabolites and also secondary metabolites. So primary metabolites used for the growth and development of the plant body. Okay, so what are they? They are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, etc. They all are primary metabolites. They are important for the plant growth and development. Okay, so these are primary metabolites. Primary means first. Okay, secondary means other purposes. Secondary metabolites means these are the biochemicals used for the other purposes. So what are the other purposes? For the protection. Okay, so these secondary metabolites are used for the protection from other organisms. Okay, so whether it may be herbivores or any other organisms or microorganisms or anything. So it means secondary metabolites are used only for the protection from other organisms only. So here the secondary metabolites are unpleasant to taste. Why they are unpleasant to taste? So they are unpleasant to taste. Why? Because animals should not eat them. Okay, animals should not eat them. So the plants are going to produce secondary metabolites which are unpleasant to taste. Okay. Okay, any substance dormed in necessary for metabolism is called metabolites. So what is metabolism? Yes, Ashok. Metabolism is nothing but it is anabolic and also catabolic process. And what is metabolites? These metabolites are nothing but these are the biochemicals used for the growth and also protection. Okay, so don't mix metabolites and also metabolism. Metabolites are used for the growth and development and protection from other organisms. That is metabolites. They are primary and also secondary metabolites. So metabolism means it is a sum of anabolic and catabolic reactions or anabolic and catabolic functions. So what is anabolism? Example, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is anabolic reaction or anabolic process. Catabolism means, what is catabolism? Destructive process. Example, respiration. In the process of respiration, the glucose molecules are broken down. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, economically means what? For the money purpose, for the commercial purpose. Okay. For the commercial purpose, we are using these metabolites. So these metabolites, secondary metabolites, are commercial. For the commercial purpose, we are using them. So economically important for the human beings. For the money, we are extracting the secondary metabolites and we are using the secondary metabolites for different functions. Those metabolites are alkaloids, tannins, resins, gums, latex, etc. You might have seen the tides, how the tides are prepared. Latex from the plants. How the gums are produced from the plants. These gums are used for binding purpose. Okay, resins and so on. Okay, so these all are the important. They are economically important. For the commercial purpose, we are using them. Okay, so these metabolites are stored in different parts of the body, different parts of plant. So what are different parts? Some are stored in the root, some are stored in the stem, and so on. Different parts. Okay. So next is alkaloids. So these are alkaloids like quinone. Just now we have seen, no? Example, alkaloids. These are also a type of secondary metabolite. So quinone, nicotine, morphine, cocaine, rasparin, caffeine, and so on. So these are different types. Okay, these are different types of the metabolites. Okay, these are different types of secondary metabolites, especially included in the alkaloids only. So there are different types of alkaloids. So these alkaloids are produced by the different plants. Here you can see. So quinine is produced from the cinchona. Okay. So and also nicotine is produced from the tobacco and so on. Their scientific names are also given over here. Okay. So here the part of the plant body. So bark, leaves, fruits, and so on. This table is going to describe about alkaloid, which plant is going to produce the alkaloid, and which part where it is stored, and also uses of these alkaloids and so on. So these are about the table describing about some alkaloids, so and their function and their production and also storage. Okay. So in plant parts, okay, in plant, bark is a part of the plant, no? Okay, bark is a part of the plant. In the bark, what is stored? Okay, in cinchona bark is going to store quinone. Okay, cinchona bark is going to store quinone. So this quinone is a anti-malarial drug. Okay, so root is a part of the plant. So here the snake root, that is rasparin, is a alkaloid present in the Ravipolia serpentiana. It is a plant. This plant has a root. These roots are going to store alkaloid known as rasparin. So it is used for the snake bite. Okay, snake bite and also high BP and so on. So this is a plant part. Different parts of the plant are going to store different types of the alkaloids. So these alkaloids are the nitrogenous byproduct. Okay, nitrogenous byproduct. What is byproduct? Byproduct means apart from the main product, extra whatever is produced, that extra thing is known as byproduct. Okay. Here in case of photosynthesis, what you can see, the production of the glucose molecules C6H12O6, okay, plus water, okay, plus oxygen. Here the oxygen, water, they are byproducts. Okay, they are byproducts. Here the glucose is main important. Apart from the glucose, they are also produced. So these are byproducts. Okay, in the same way here in these alkaloids are also produced. So these alkaloids are nitrogenous byproducts and they are poisonous and stored in different parts of the plant. Example, quinone, nicotine, etc. These are different parts. Okay. So next is, when the pollen grains enters in the body, they are going to cause allergy. So you might have seen some Okay. Okay, we will discuss a little bit slow. So whenever pollen grains enters in the body, some people when they enter into the fields, agriculture fields, okay, they will feel some suffering. So they will cause some suffering. So why? Because in the agriculture fields there is a lot amount of pollen grains coming from the flowers. When the pollen grains enters into these people, they are more sensitive. So they are more sensitive and they are going to cause allergy. Allergy means they will sneeze a lot, they will cough a lot, and so on. Not all people are allergic to the pollen grains. Some people, some people are allergic to the pollen grains. So they are due to the presence of nitrogen substance. The pollen grains is going to have the nitrogen substance. This nitrogen substance, when they enters into the body of these people who are sensitive, they are going to cause allergy. Allergy like sneezing, coughing, and also nose become red, eyes become red, and so on. Okay, this is about pollen grains. So these allergens, they are allergens, so they are going to cause allergy, and also sometimes they may cause asthma. Okay, so especially if you see the parthenium means it is a plant. It is a plant, it is going to produce pollen grains. Some people are allergic to these parthenium pollen grains. Okay, so next is the tannins. Tannins are the carbon compounds. Okay, yeah, Ashok, please make video for next chapter. Yes, we will discuss the next chapter also. Okay, so we will discuss after the completion of this chapter. We will discuss the fifth chapter. Okay, that is about brain and so on, about nerve system, brain, spinal cord. We will discuss about them. Okay. So tannins are the carbon compounds which are deep brown in color and stored in different parts of plant. Example, cassia, okay, acacia, and so on. They are going to produce tannins. These tannins are brown in color. Okay, so brown in color, they are stored inside, deep inside the plant body. So as a result, if you cut the plant body, if you cut the stem, inside the stem, they are brown in color. Why they are brown in color? Because of the presence of the tannins. Okay. Next is the resins. So resins are synthesized in gymnosperms. In gymnosperms, these resins are produced. Gymnosperms are nothing but they are a type of plant. So these plants are going to produce resins, and they are going to help produce the resins, and these resins passages are used in the varnishes. Okay, okay. So this is plant. This plant has a resin passages. Through the resin passages, these resins will pass out. Okay, and these resins can be collected, and these resins are used in the varnishes. Varnishes means paints. Okay, in the paints we are using this. In the paints we are using these resins. Okay, example, pinus. Pinus is a type of gymnosperm plant. So the pinus is going to produce resins. These resins are used in the production of the varnishes. Okay, here you can see the pinus plant. This is a pinus plant. Okay, this is acacia and also cassia plant. Okay, so you will use in especially in Telangana in some festivals you will use these flowers now for the preparation of batkama or some preparation of idols and so on. We will use these flowers. Okay, so what is gymnosperm? Explain clearly. Okay, so okay, Prabhu, gymnosperms are nothing but they are a type of plants. In gymnosperms, okay, in gymnosperm species, there are number of plants. Among the number of plants, the pinus plant is one. Okay, among different types of pinus plant, among different types of gymnosperms. Okay, here you can see gymnosperm species. In the gymnosperm species, number of plants are there, number of species. Okay, so among them, the pinus is one plant. We are not discussing all those things. We are discussing only the resin which is prepared by the pinus plant. Okay, so tannins. Also, what is the tannins? Tannins are nothing but, so they are a secondary metabolite. It is stored in the plant. Especially you will use tannins in the tanning industry, and you will use in some kind of production of some compounds, some products, and so on. Okay, so these are the tannins, use of the tannins. So gums are the sticky substances that oozes out. Oozes is nothing but coming out. Coming out is nothing but oozing or oozes out. So when the plant is injured or branch is cut, okay, So if you cut the branch of the plant, at the cut area of the plant, the gum is produced. Why the gum is produced? So this gum is going to absorb water. This gum is going to absorb water. When the water is absorbed, it is going to help in the healing. It is helping in the healing of the injured part of the plant. Okay. So this is the reason why the gums are produced. Gums are going to absorb water. So when the gums absorb water, it will provide perfect condition for the healing of the wound of the plant body. Okay. So here the gums helping healing and healing the damaged part. Okay. Damaged part by swelling and absorbing water. So it is going to swell. The gum will swell by absorbing water. It will provide perfect condition for the healing of the wound. So Prabhu, what varnishes meaning? Varnish means a paint. Okay, painting. You will use in the door paint. Okay, you will use in painting of different materials. No, paint. Okay. They are economically valuable and used adhesive. Adhesive means what? Adhesive means binding. Okay, for sticking papers, sticking wood materials, and so on. So adhesive, binding agent. Okay, to bind two materials together, we are using these gums, and also we are used in the medicine. Some medicines will have the gums which is produced by the plants, and the preparation of the food and so on. In some foods also the gums are used. Okay, so not only them, there are many uses. There are many uses of the gums which is used in different purposes. Okay, so chewing gum is made from the natural latex. Nowadays we are using bubble gums. Okay, so here the latex is a rubbery material. This is used in the olden days also. So the chewing gum is made from the natural latex. Okay, so from the plants like chisel, sapota, etc. So explain resin. Okay, resins are nothing but, so these are, here you can see what are resins. So these resins are produced by the gymnosperms. Okay, these resins are produced by gymnosperms. So example, the pinus. If you see the pinus plant is going to produce a resin. It is used in the varnishes. For example, nowadays you will see the paints. Okay, in the paints, the resin is used. This resin is produced by the plants of gymnosperms. Example for one of the gymnosperm plant is pinus. Okay, so where we are, okay, sapota and so on. And if you have observed in time, if you eat sapota, in Telugu it is sapota, in English it is not sapodilla. Okay, so if you eat sapota fruit, so you will see on the lips will become sticky. Okay, if you observe clearly any time, okay, till now if you have eaten sapota fruit, okay, the lips will become sticky. Why the lips become sticky after eating sapota? Why? Because that sapota plants will have the gums. Okay, example, natural latex. The sapota will have the latex. So when the latex sticks to the lips, okay, that lips become sticky and so on. Okay, so Jnanendra, latex is nothing but, so it is a milky white secretion. So we have not discussed latex. Now we are going to discuss about the latex. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the latex. So natural latex is present in some fruits like sapota. Okay, so here what is latex? Latex is sticky milky white substance produced from the latex cells. So some plants like rubber plant will have some kind of cells. Those cells are latex cells. These latex cells are going to produce latex. Okay, so from the latex vessels the latex will come. Okay, how the latex will come? Latex will come from the latex cells. Okay, so these latex will flow through the latex vessels, and if you cut the plant, if you make a small incisions, means if you do a small cuttings on the branch or cuttings on the stem and put a small container over here, and in the container the latex will come and get collected. How the latex is going to look like? The latex is going to look like milky white appearances. It looks like a milk, but it is not a milk, it is latex. Okay, so here the rubber is prepared from the rubber plant. The rubber plant name is Hevia brasiliensis. It is a plant that will produce the latex. So not only that, the biodiesel is prepared from the seeds of the latex of Jatropha, okay, from the seeds and also latex of Jatropha. So this is a plant Jatropha. It is this plant seeds are used to produce biodiesel. Biodiesel means, so it is coming from the nature. It is, this diesel is produced by in the natural process, but not in the petroleum products. Okay, so in the petroleum processing, in the crude oil and so on, it is there. No, we are not producing in that manner. We are producing the diesel from the Jatropha in the natural process. Okay, it is nothing but from the natural plant we are extracting the biodiesel. Okay. So next is Brugman. So Brugman is a botanist. Okay, who is botanist? Brugman is a scientist. Who is botanist? Botanist means the people who study about the plants. They are known as botanist. Okay. So where we can see this plant? Okay, this plant can be seen especially in a forest. Okay, some people will cultivate these plants also. Okay, so we can see the plants especially in the forest. You can see this Jatropha plant. While coming to the topic, Brugman is a scientist. He is a botanist. This person studies plant. Okay, botanist means the people who study more about the plant. They are known as botanists, and they prove that the roots are not only absorb fluid from the soil, but also they will secrete back into the soil. Example, apple trees. So what he said, roots not only absorb fluid from the soil, but also they will secrete back. It means they will secrete some solutions back into the soil. That is said by the Brugman. So he observed in the apple. Okay, he observed in the apple crop. In the apple crop, okay. So Prabhu, that is secreted. Okay, secretion is nothing but removal. Okay, releasing of substances. Let us consider these are the roots. Okay, these are the roots. Okay, so the roots are going to release some kind of fluid. Okay, some kind of fluid will be released. Such kind of release of fluid is known as secretion. Secretion means what? Releasing. Okay, releasing of substance. That is known as secretion. So these roots are going to secrete some fluid back into the soil. That is known as secretion. So here the single apple crop grown in the soil for 4 to 5 years continuously failed to produce fruits even after the supply of fertilizers. It means through the apple crop they were providing the fertilizers. Even after providing the fertilizers, these are not growing. Why? Because the roots are secreting important nutrients and fluids back into the soil, so they are not going to give the apple fruits or apple crop. Okay. So these are the questions. Do plants excrete like animals? The plants do not have the special excretory organs. So as a result, okay, this is not this is typing mistake. So the plants do not have the special excretory organs. So they excrete waste materials in the form of secondary metabolites and also raphides. So next, how do the plants manage and or send out the waste materials, waste products from its body? They are going to excrete waste materials in the form of secondary metabolites. Okay, so secondary metabolites, so transpiration, guttation, shedding of leaves, and so on. Okay, so next, why are weed and what is known as weed? Weed is nothing but the plants which will absorb more amount of nutrients in the agricultural crops. Okay, weeds means these are the plants grown everywhere on the roadsides, everywhere you can see these weeds. And wild plants not affected by the insects. Why? Why? Because the weeds and wild plants, they are going to produce some chemical toxins. These chemical toxins are present in their leaves, and also these toxins will save these plants from the herbivores or also insects. So as a result, these weeds will not get affected. So these substances are not unpleasant to taste, and sometimes if the animals eat these plants, eat these toxins, they will get killed. Okay. So why plants shed their leaves and bark periodically? The waste materials are stored in the leaves and bark, so they get rid of these waste materials by periodical shedding of their leaves and also bark periodically. So this is about the shedding. And next is name the alkaloids which are harmful to us. So alkaloids like nicotine, morphine, scopolamine, these are harmful. Okay, harmful to the human beings. So you should not consume them. So do roots secrete? Yes, the roots are going to secrete, not only absorbing, but also roots are going to secrete back into the soil. So next question is, do you think there is any relation between the reduction in yield and also root secretion? Yes, the plants secrete fluids by the roots into the soil, means the roots are going to secrete some kind of fluids back into the soil, so the yield will be very less. Example, apple crop. So next question will be, why do we get peculiar smell when you shift the potted plant? So roots secrete some chemical substance. If you move potted plant from one place to another place, then you will see some kind of smell. That smell is nothing but they are a chemical substance. They are a type of chemical substances, okay, produced by the microorganisms to protect from the pathogens. Okay, so they are going to produce some chemicals. These chemicals will protect the plant from other pathogens or other microorganisms. Okay, next one will be the small topic. It is about excretion versus secretion. What is excretion? Excretion means excretion and secretion both are involved in the passage and elimination or movement of materials. Remember one thing, excretion means removal or elimination from the body to the outside, Example, waste materials, urine, okay, fecal matter, they will get excreted from the body into the outside the environment. So that is known as excretion. Example, in animals, carbon dioxide will be removed, tears will be removed, urine, sweat, etc. They are the waste materials, they will get excreted. Okay. So, and in plants, the falling of leaves, bark, etc. They are also excreted in this method. Okay. Next is excretion is passive in nature. Okay, Prabhu. Okay, fine. So excretion is passive in nature. Okay, passive in nature, and here doesn't require energy. So in the passive doesn't require energy, but secretion requires energy. The secretion is a movement of materials from one point to another point in the body. For example, hormones, enzymes. Okay, how they will act? They will be produced in the one part of the body. They will go and act on the other part of the body. So that is the secretion. Next is saliva. Okay, saliva is also produced by salivary glands. They will act in the mouth. Okay, so this is the production is somewhere, action is somewhere in the body only. This is known as secretion. And plants like latex, gums, resins, etc. Okay, so this is resins, resins, resins. Okay, so they are produced somewhere, and also they will get stored somewhere in the plant body, and they will do some function. It is also nothing but so secretion. Secretion is active in nature. Okay, secretion is active in nature. Why? Because it is going to require some amount of energy. Okay, so how excretion is different from secretion in? So remember one thing, Prabhu. So secretion means, let us consider this is a body. Okay, and this is also body. Okay, so waste materials are there. The waste materials will be removed from the body to the outside. Okay, into the environment. Okay, this is nothing but excretion. This is nothing but excretion. Okay, so okay, Chinmay, no problem, nothing will happen. Okay, Chinmay, fine. Okay, so here the secretion, what is meant by secretion? This is known as excretion, and this is secretion, means the production is somewhere, and action is somewhere. Okay, this is known as secretion. So in the excretion, it doesn't require no energy. No energy is required for this process. Here the energy is required. For example, brain is going to produce growth hormone. So this growth hormone will go and act on the bones. Okay, Can you see here the production is somewhere, action is somewhere. Okay, this is known as secretion. Okay, so here within the body only the secretion will be there. Within the body only the secretions will not come out. Example, hormones like testosterone, estrogen, they will not move out of the body. They are present in the body. So the testosterone is produced somewhere, and also it is going to act on some other way. Okay, in the body only. So it is in the excretion from the body to outside, elimination will be there. Okay, this is known as excretion. This is known as secretion. Okay. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope you have understood the class. If you have not understood, or if you have any doubts or questions, feel free to post your questions or doubts in the comment section so that I can answer. Okay. So take this notes. This notes is useful to you. So it is useful for your examination, and you can skip the question and answers. You can see here. you can skip this question and answer. No need to write this question and answers in the notebook. Okay. So why? Because in the examination, these points will be more useful for the quick revision. Okay. So we will discuss the